Hello everyone and welcome to Manor Lords, a medieval city building game with a real-time strategy element that I have been enjoying immensely. In the last episode, we were able to get our city up to a medium town, and we're heading towards large town in this episode. We'll also be working on getting as much trade out of our city and trying to grow our treasury as well. So if that is something that you're into, don't forget to like and subscribe as it does help the channel out. And let's jump in to Manor Lords. So what do we need to get all that done? Well, the number one thing is we are just really lacking on a couple of items. Food is definitely one of them. Getting 3 consistent food items has been incredibly difficult. Now some of these plots are able to be upgraded now, so when the opportunity knocks, I'm gonna take it. And that'll help us get up to our burgage plots of 15 of these level 3s or higher. The other thing is we need more burgage plots, at least one more. And I think I want to make one of these artisan ones over here. The reason is as you can see, we have plenty of different artisans, but we don't have one particular one. That one particular one is a tailor. And the reason I want a tailor is because I kind of want to get sheep going. The big problem with the money side of things is we don't really have a lot of things for our approval. The more things that you have that are extra beyond what they're requesting, like cloaks and hoods, and just plain balls of wool, it can make your approval go through the roof. And this allows you to tax people even if it's ever so slightly. As we learned from one of the comments, basically when you tax, you're getting a portion of the revenue from each house. At least that's how I read it. So as we said in the last episode, this burgage plot will generate 2 coins of regional wealth per family per month in the settlement. And since we have the potential of having 4 total families in said house, this should give us 8 coins per burgage plot. And as we have 77 families in our total town, it should produce us quite a bit of money for our treasury, even at a low tax rate. But as you increase taxes, you decrease approval. But there's a little bit of a snaky way that I've kind of noticed I may be able to do this. If I just upgrade this to, I don't know, let's say 3%, it only gives me a predicted loss of 2. A predictive loss of 2 is not that bad, to be honest with you. I think we should be able to handle that. With our most recent expansion of all of our fields here and the ability to put some oxen now in our farmhouses, I don't think that food will be too much of a problem going forward. And as we're headed towards large town, we will get another development point, and that development point could be used for fertilization. We might adventure somewhere else, but as of right now, I don't really know what to use it on. Extra meat from trapping? That sounds like a good idea. Going down here into the metallurgy side of things, I don't really see the sense of it anymore. Charcoal burning for more firewood? Nah, I don't need that. Basic armor making for helmets? If you don't get down all the way to plate armor, it doesn't seem worth it. And I don't have any extra iron here. So it basically seems like we're heading towards a peaceful little farm town that has lots of weapons to take down bandits as they come around. But for now, I'll just keep an eye out for bandits so I can pay the king's tax. But I think taxing our people ever so little bit with our manor, it's not a bad idea. I might actually take this down to 2, and that way we're only getting an approval of -2. I don't really need a lot of money. We may even chalk that down to 1%. I don't really need that much right now, but you know, any little bit helps. So as we want to get into more clothing materials for our people, I think that we should go ahead and do the right thing. Get a livestock trading post and put it over here, kind of out of the way, as well as build a sheep farm, and we'll try to place it in a way that we can maybe utilize this nasty overgrown space that we've got over here. If we snake this thing in there just right, and then add a pasture kind of next to it, we finally were able to use this hill for something better than nothing. It has been an eyesore in our town this entire time, and there's no terraforming in this game. God knows I tried. Now, I've been trying to scope out the best place to put a new artisan, and I'm kind of feeling it right here would probably be the best place. Still close enough to these guys to kind of do something, but as you can see, even this orchard is not quite getting all the food it needs. But that could be the problem of not making enough food over here. So I think one really small house like right here should be more than enough to make that happen. I don't want a double house, so maybe we'll try to do something funny. It's not gonna let me, huh? There we go. Yeah, it looks a little weird, and they got a kind of a big front yard. I don't know, maybe they'll like that sort of thing. And we'll keep this artisan here, and it'll be our tailor going forward. So as we walk through our town and enjoy the hustle and bustle of everything, and the fact that nobody seems to cut the grass, we'll go ahead and do a few little side projects. We'll upgrade some houses, upgrade the farm for plows, buy some new oxen for that plow, deal with dissatisfied people, put in our dyer's workshop, as well as our weaver's workshop in our new makeshift industrial area. We'll keep it all close to the trading post in case we decide that we need to start trading some things. So now with our farmhouses upgraded and we have our oxen in place, we can really start plowing more fields, and I'll probably put these in the rotation once fall comes around and we're plowing fields again. I don't want to do it too early because I just don't want to take the chance of not getting a full harvest and wasting the fertility on those two fields. At the same time, in our makeshift industrial area here, we have our dyer's workshop completed and our weaver's workshop. Now, the weaver will do things like work on all kinds of different items depending on what items are stored inside of it. If it has flax, it'll make linen. If it has wool, it'll turn it into yarn. But linen and wool need other products to get themselves turned into their final product. For cloaks, you need the dyer's workshop, and that is going to take a little bit out of our food supply as it takes berries to get that done. To get the wool, we'll need to populate our sheep farm with at least one person, and we'll have to buy some of those sheep. Unfortunately, they are expensive. So we'll go ahead and set this to import, and we'll start off with just 5. Normally, without that extra development point that we spent to make things cheaper, these guys would cost 30 coins apiece. It's going to be expensive to get our initial 3, but we'll make it. We'll get this done. Once that happens, they'll be transferred over here to the pasture space so that the sheep farm can start harvesting that wool. If we notice that we need more wool, we'll go ahead and get more sheep. After, we've established that we can do this. Everything hinges on this one burgage plot, getting the people it needs and getting the items it needs to be upgraded. That way we can work on the tailor shop and get those clothes and cloaks. Gambesons are a good option if you want to protect your archers. The Gambesons go hand in hand, I think, with the archers, and they're not really a clothing item that people want. But the cloaks take wool, and the clothes, I believe that those take the linen. I can't remember, as I've only built a tailor shop just once. Now, as that is happening, we are keeping an eagle eye out for any house that wants to be upgraded. If it gives me an arrow, I'm going to upgrade that sucker as soon as possible. Now, one thing I have been noticing in the trading post is we continue to have all of this meat just sitting here. Boy, I can only think of how rancid this meat is. It's had 48 for quite some time, and I'm not understanding why we're not getting it to market. So I'm going to do something that I thought I'd never do. And once again, I'm going to destroy this marketplace and build back in its place a great big one. Now, we've gone ahead and told the granary in the large storage house to isolate to the marketplace and pick up all these goods. So until that happens, we won't be able to replace our marketplace at all. So it's a waiting game, and I'm very patient. Hurry up and pick up those goods. The storeroom is not very far away. No, sir, lift with your back, not with your legs. Ma'am, you're in his way, and you're causing a little bit of an issue. Don't wait on him. Get it before he gets it. Stop complaining. You don't have to go that far. Seriously, man, that was like 3 of those. You could carry way more than that. You have a cart. Citizen, don't just stand there. Pick something up. Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't you walk away from me. I am your Manor Lord. 1 bucket? Are you serious? Are you taking that home? Are you thieving, sir? Come back here with that. So now with all of the supplies picked up, even though it took our citizens forever, it's not like it was right next to you. I also changed the work area so that it wouldn't be specific to this place. I haven't made that mistake before. We'll go ahead and replace our marketplace here, and we'll try to get as many stalls in here as possible. Yes, I know, it goes against everything that I said before, but we'll try. 20 stalls is a lot of stalls, and I have some plans for the most of those. We will strategically unlock certain things to allow stalls to be placed in here. One of those things is that trading post. I want to get that trading post up and running and get some of its materials over there. With all of the guys that'll be here putting all the supplies out there, it'll help out immensely. So one of those things that I want to import now as well is I want to import these eggs. We've already established a trade route, and they are kind of one of the cheapest things to import if I can do it. So we're going to go ahead and import 50 of those eggs and try to get those to the marketplace. And to do that, allow a market stall to be set up. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this because I like being able to control it as much as I possibly can. But we'll go ahead and put an extra guy in there and have him open a food stall, I'm sure. As long as he doesn't open up a firewood stall, I'll be happy. Alright, so after all of that work, what have we got here? Well, we've got, of course, a firewood stall and a food stall. Another firewood stall and a clothing stall. That'll help. Another firewood stall and another clothing stall and another clothing stall and another clothing stall. Okay, well, that is quite eventful. Is that all that you guys did? We have clothing. What possible clothing? You have shoes for sale, sir. Another clothing stall from you guys. Another clothing stall from you guys. Another clothing stall. You opened up all of the clothing stalls? You've got to be kidding me. Well, it was worth a shot, but I guess they don't want to put a food stall in. I really wish we could get that meat out of here. And now we're starting to get eggs, so even better. Maybe I can do something with a storage unit right out here, just grabbing the stuff and putting it in the market. You know what? Anything's worth a shot. So we'll go ahead and put this granary here, and hopefully we can just use it to supply said goods to the market stall. Maybe it won't. If you know how to get things to the market a little bit better, go ahead and leave a comment, because this is the one piece of the game that always eludes me. I can't figure out exactly how to get these goods into our actual granary to sell the goods to our people. I wish there was a way that you could limit and tell the market stalls exactly what you want. Designate a food market and maybe a materials market. I don't know. Just get things a lot better. Another thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and start buying these horses. As it was suggested in the comments, order those horses for the trading post as soon as possible. It just makes things better. So let's try it out. I don't think I've ever bought a horse, but we do have the stall space for it, so why not? Let's try it out. And if we look on our pasture space, it says we have 1 sheep, but I don't know. Is he hiding in the grass, or maybe he's hiding in the terrain? I don't really see him anywhere. That is 1 camouflage sheep. So one of the things that's happening is we are running out of planks pretty regularly. So I've gone ahead and gone over here and set up a new saw pit. We're going to go ahead and try to get as many of those as we possibly can. I think the major problem is we're just not getting enough trees. I don't think we're planting them here in the Forsters. I don't know if they're doing their job very well. Come on, gentlemen, we need you to plant those trees. I need to deforest this whole area. I may even let one of these guys just kind of go ham. Let him take down whatever it is that he wants. Come over here and harvest some trees. I don't know, maybe this guy can do it. We'll go ahead and tell him that he can start coming out even larger area to try to get us some trees in so we can continue to make those planks. It's really one of the only ways that we're making money, by selling all them bows. What's this? A new family joins us on our Burgage Plot 1? Well, welcome, new family. Oh, I can't wait for you to get all the things that you need so I can upgrade you and make you into a tailor as soon as possible. Please get in your house. Go grab some firewood so I can upgrade you. The Manor Lord is asking for it. So I was having a hard time kind of distinguishing between trees and everything else, so I went through here and just erased all of the shrubbery. It just made sense to me just to get it away and kind of see how our foresters are doing. Give me a decent representation of what they're doing. And now we can see a lot better what the foresters are doing. I'm sure planting on a hill isn't that easy. So we finally have the ability to upgrade this guy to a level 2, our future tailor. At the same time, we have quite a few upgrades that we could manage, and I think I'm going to do it. This will be our last burgage plot that we need to get ourselves to the next level of town, a large town. We have 2 of our level 1s being upgraded, so I know I have the 30 plots. And now with our level 3 being upgraded, we'll have our 15 we need to max out this town. Settlement level increased, and a new development point for us. Oh man! And as you can see, the current settlement level is a large town. This is the maximum settlement level that you can reach in the game at this point. Now, it doesn't mean that we'll stop upgrading any of these to a level 3 burgage plot, but as of right now, I'm not so worried about it. My biggest worry now is to make sure that we can make all of these grumpy little thumbs downs go away. So that means providing enough food and clothing and other things to our citizens to make them as happy as possible, as well as probably opening a lot more market stalls in completely random places that don't make any sense. And with our settlement being kind of what it is, we no longer have any level 1 burgage plots in the entirety of our city. We had this last orchard that was holding out for a very long time, and I'm sure they'll be grumpy because they're continuing not to get any fuel. But more importantly, our burgage plot that we want to turn into our tailor's workshop has finally been upgraded. And yes, they also are grumpy because they don't have any fuel for their fireplace either. But we're going to go ahead and tack on that tailor's workshop as we have plenty of people to do all kinds of good things. And we'll turn off that marketplace for now. We may allow them to do the marketplace in the very near future. But as soon as we get that done, we're going to make sure that we get them pumping out any kind of clothing item that we could possibly make. The reason for that is the more market varieties we have is going to be good for the fact that we can increase our taxation. And according to the notes here, we have been making quite a bit of money off of that little bit of taxation that we're doing. And our approval rating is still staying pretty high. I can only imagine how many people are happy that their coins are finally in their pocket without having to go after any raiders. Giving us the ability to make money here into our treasury without going off into any raiders, it definitely expands a lot of things. We could really start to consider taking on one of these territories and starting a new town there. I've been having my eye over here on this one for quite some time, as it has a iron deposit that is rich, and we could really use something like that. The bad thing is, fertility's not the greatest, so getting something over here as far as food-wise, even though we have a rich deposit of berries, our development points would have to be sunk into the iron deposit. Getting into deep mining is definitely something that we need to do the most. We could do something with this and just harvest a ton of berries and hope for them all to be happy, and getting a little bit of meat in the meantime. But if we just focus on getting 2 development points, we don't have to build that big of a city. We could honestly build it probably right here in the middle of this forest. That way we're not too far away from all of our food sources, and we can harvest this clay, get this iron, you know. But the other one that I've been eyeing pretty hard is this one over here. Now, as far as resources go, it doesn't really have a lot of really good stuff. It's got just the regular amount of everything, and I don't really see that it is very good. It has a rich deposit of berries over here, but that's not really important. What's important is its fertility. Man, it has all the wheat fields that I could probably ever make, and it could be an enormous farming community. It's actually not too bad with flax or barley as well, even though it's kind of in the forest here. This could be an enormous benefit to our city. The problem is food. We'll have to make enough food through farming to supply the bread to this community. And then anything that's left over gets shipped up over here to this community, as well as the barley and the flax, so that I can start really expanding this city. The more level 3 houses that I have, the more taxation I can do and the more retinue I can have. I really want to max out those retinue, and there's a way to do it. Over here in the manor house, what you can do is open the castle planner and you can add a garrison tower. Now this garrison tower will allow you to have those 12 extra retinue. That's really what I want to do, but I'm not so sure we're ready for it right now. I mean, we don't even have a full complement of retinue as it is. And the king's tax, it just keeps going up. We're up to 245 and it's really hurting the pocketbooks. So I'd like to try to, get a few more of these guys right now. So I'm gonna buy a few and max upgrade them. Probably buy our full complement as it is right now. And it still gives us the money to pay the king's tax. After that, we'll go ahead and think about upgrading this guy once we get a decent amount, maybe 1,000 in our treasury. But that's going to take some time. If we open up a new land, we'll have to put a brand new manor house over there, and we can get more military on that side. But iron still seems to be the default there, so we have quite a few things to consider. But for now, I just want to get this place to where Caesar approves. We'll turn those disapprovals to approval as quickly as we can. Now, the one good thing about the oxes is it does seem as though they help pick up all of the grain. But now that it's time for plowing all of our fields, let's see who gets it done better, the peasants or the ox. They both seem pretty determined, and I'm pretty certain that, oh, easy there, bud. You're like about to shove that thing right up its... I'll put my money on the peasantry, especially if I go over there and motivate them. Maybe we'll just run over and see how they're doing. These guys seem to be doing pretty good. They're plowing in almost a perfectly straight line. I can appreciate the symmetry. But these guys over here, wow, they started in the corner and they've made some pretty good headway. I mean, they may actually have this field completely plowed before the ox gets its done. Well, let's find out. Now, I could say that this is probably the best example that we could have. We have quite a few peasants over here plowing the one field, and we have 3 different ox starting at 3 different times getting these fields plowed. Well, the race is on, gentlemen, so let's see how you do. And wouldn't you know, a whole lot of peasants got one whole field planted before the oxen was done. I believe they even got that thing completely sown. If we take a look here, it's already on its growth phase, and that's pretty good. So go figure, a whole lot of peasants plowed faster and got the field all 100% sown in the time it took for one ox to get a field done. This is why I say that the ox is not quite as powerful as it seems. Especially because once they start plowing a field and the ox will take over, I think that the ox plows the entire field. Now granted, we're in October, so technically it's faster? I don't know. You be the judge of that. Let me know in the comments. The one good thing that we can say is even with these fields not producing as much as they possibly could, we got a decent amount of rye out of both of these. I mean, that's quite a bit. It's telling me I have 284, so that's pretty accurate. We have all of this that needs to be threshed and turned into our flour so that we can get more bread, cause owie, we're out of bread. But the good thing is that we have the eggs now, so getting food to people, I don't think that's gonna be a problem too much longer. Our apples are sustaining themselves throughout the year, so we have apples, we have meat, we have vegetables, and eggs. As soon as we get this bread figured out, I think we'll be good on the food front. The bigger problem is firewood. It always seems like we're running out of firewood. I don't understand. And now our tavern is kind of waning. And if our tavern wanes, that lack of entertainment starts to come into play. And that, my friends, is not a good thing. It is hard to get that lack of entertainment gone, so we may have to do something very drastic here in the very near future. In our trading tab, we are bringing in as much barley as we could possibly bring in, but we have a lot of people asking for that beer now. My only thing I could think of is, are we bringing in enough malts? Are we making enough of that? It doesn't appear so. It seems like we're getting this very slowly, even though we have 2 people in the malt house. We could add another person in here to try to get those malts going as fast as possible. To get them over to our brewery, that way our brewery can get them going even faster than before. Now we do have one option that I've really truly never tried, which is upgrade the brewery to a level 3. It will add more people into this house, maybe producing the beer faster? I really don't know if that's a part of the game, but let's give it a shot and see what happens when this brewery gets upgraded to a level 3. As of right now, we're just barely keeping up with the ale, and it's trying real hard. Maybe a second malt house is in order? I don't know. That's going to require me to upgrade another house and get more people. More people, more food. More food, more firewood. A whole kit and caboodle. Our brewery house, it got upgraded and it gained a person. So I guess we'll see if having a level 3 brewery will help get more ale into the tavern. We're already up to 4, which is actually pretty good. So maybe our malt house won't be able to keep up with it. Adding that extra person in definitely helped. We're up to 23 malts. Perhaps that was our bottleneck. Pun intended. But while we were busy building our brewery and getting our malt situation kind of handled, we had a little raider infestation. But we were well prepared this time. We lined our troops up well, and we strategically kind of evaded that flank that's coming in from the right. From there, we dispatched of these dirty raiders pretty quickly. Our troops definitely fought with valor. And look how many we have. Even with the cover of the woods, they were no match for our spearmen. Then after the victory, I decided that maybe we just weren't moving the products around enough. So I decided to build another trade house to see if we couldn't move the product from the trade house to the places it needed to go. Maybe a little bit more quickly and efficiently. Once that was complete, I noticed that we were selling and buying a lot more products a lot faster. This allowed our malt house to get more barley and turn into malts. So then I saw that we needed another brewery. That way we would never run out of ale again. So I decided to change over this tiny orchard to a brewery. And then I started upgrading every house to a level 3 that would allow it. Because I knew, now we have plenty of ale. But as it goes, every time you fix one problem, you create another. And we were running out of regional wealth really fast. So I noticed soon enough, that way I was able to open up the dyes export and make ourselves a little bit more money. We had to stop selling our weapons for a short time because we wanted to build a bigger army, and that was our major source of income. But the dyes would definitely help mitigate that just a little bit. Now it still seems like firewood, for some reason, even though we have over 2,000 firewood, is still a problem. Even with all of the firewood stalls that we have, it causes an issue with a couple of houses not being able to get upgrades. So we may have to live with a few houses not being upgraded. The market really just doesn't reach out nearly as far as I want it to. So I don't really know exactly what to do to make everybody completely happy, but I'm pretty happy. We got 1,400 in our treasury, and that makes my lord very happy indeed. But as I look over our city here, and I'm very pleased with the way it has turned out. Most of the houses are upgraded, and I would love to upgrade all of them, maybe at a later date. But I think it's time to take on a new territory, a new province, to try to supply this city with all the things that it needs. I believe that new adventures wait on the horizon just beyond the woods. And if that is something that you're into, make sure that you hit the notification bell so you can be alerted the next time a Manor Lords gets uploaded. If you would like additional ways to support, there's always the links in the description. One is for Discord, where you can chat with some community members, and myself included. There you can make game suggestions and just have a general chat with anybody that's there. And if you want to, you can leave a comment down below. I love getting tips and tricks from all of you about how to play this game better, cause we're not doing it great. The other link is for Patreon, where support on Patreon gets your name in the credits and probably a city named after you. But as always, the best way to support is to like and subscribe, as it does help the channel out. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of any time any Manor Lords or any other content gets uploaded to the page. Hit one of the buttons at the end of the screen to see what else we've played, and don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Bye now.